a shock absorber. Buffer is like a shock absorber. Now, just take the example of bike. When you are going on a TVS moped, heavy duty moped, and when you are going on a rough road where it is not a tar road, it is just a road which is not even which is not evenly done. There are ups and downs are there. So in that road, if you are going by a TVS moped, you will feel lots of what do you call you will feel that pressure because of the ups and downs. Suppose if you are going in a latest bike which has got heavy shock absorbers, so the one who is sitting at the back, they feel that spring action. Similarly, when you are going in a ordinary bus and in a super deluxe or super luxury bus, you will feel the comfort because the super luxury bus is having very good shock absorbers, whereas an ordinary bus will not have good shock absorbers. So when you go in super luxury bus, you never feel the even when you are going, even on the way, if you see the bumps, speed breakers, you will never feel the pressure because the shock absorbers that are present in a super luxury or AC bus, they absorb this shock because of the speed breaker. So buffer is like that. So buffer is a solution which cannot allow to change the pH of a solution. So buffer is a compound which will not allow the change in pH. So that is what buffering. So buffering capacity, if you see the buffering capacity, the capacity of the buffer in maintaining a constant pH on addition of an acid or base. So buffer capacity means it is the capacity of the buffer in maintaining a constant pH on addition of an acid or base. For example, suppose you take our blood. Just now I told the blood or plasma pH is 7.4, which is slightly alkaline. So we are eating so much of food. Carbohydrates we are eating, proteins we are eating, lipids we are eating. So lot of vegetables, fruits which are consisting of many biomolecules we are eating, and they are undergoing digestion. They are absorbed into the body, into the blood. So the metabolisms are going on. Many biological reactions are going on in our body, which results in the formation of lot of acids, keto acids, alpha acids. All these acids are produced in our body. When these acids are produced into the blood, what about the pH of the blood? The pH of the blood is 7.4, I said. When some acid which is produced during metabolism is added to the blood, the pH of the blood should come down. But it is not the actual case that is happening. Your pH of the blood is always maintained at 7.4. Your pH of the blood is always maintained at 7.4. How this is maintained? This is because of the presence of buffers in the body, in the blood. So there are many buffers which are stopping the change in the pH. So the capacity of a buffer depends mainly on the pKa plus or minus 1. Okay, so the capacity of the buffer is the ability to stop the change in pH. So capacity of the buffer is estimated in the ability of that buffer, how effectively it is able to manage the pH without causing change, without causing any change in the pH, even after the addition of an acid or a base. So capacity of the buffer means it is the effectiveness of the buffer in maintaining a constant pH of the solution even after the addition of an acid or base. The buffer capacity mainly depends on factors like pKa, ratio of acid to salt, I told you buffer is a weak acid and conjugate base, or a weak base and its conjugate acid. Weak acid and its conjugate base, or weak base and its conjugate acid can form a buffer. So the buffer capacity depends on factors like pKa and ratio of acid to the salt. Maximum buffering capacity occurs if concentration of acid and salt is 1:1. So when the concentration of acid and salt is 1:1, you will find the maximum buffering capacity. Maximum buffering capacity. So mechanism of action of buffers, how they work, just see here. So I told you H2CO3 is carbonic acid and its base is a weak acid and its conjugate base is sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. So this carbonic acid and sodium bicarbonate buffer system is present in our blood. So this is called as blood buffer. Now what happens when a buffer is present? You know, acid, weak acid, it undergoes dissociation as H plus and HCO3 minus. Similarly, we have a base also, which is a salt base and its salt, NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate. This sodium bicarbonate undergoes dissociation as Na plus and HCO3 minus. So this is how the buffer components, they undergo dissociation in the biological fluids. Now when an acid is, suppose, imagine that there is an addition of acid to this solution, I mean to the blood. So what happens? Acid means it is hydrogen ion. So H plus ion, protons are added. So HCO3 minus is present in the buffer. So this HCO3 minus reacts with the hydrogen ion concentration and forms H2CO3. So the proton that is added, acid means proton, hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion is added to the solution and which contains a buffer also. So buffer will absorb this hydrogen ion and converts into HCO3 minus. Suppose a base is added to the solution. What happens? Base means OH ion, OH minus. So already there is hydrogen ion in the buffer. So this H plus ion and OH minus ion, which is a base, is added. So H plus ion takes this OH minus and converts it into water. You know, water is having a pH of 7.0, which is neutral. So this is how, like a shock absorber, these buffers will function. So these buffers will function like a shock absorber. So what they do? They resist the change in pH even after the addition of acid or a base to a solution. And the maximum buffering capacity can be achieved when the ratio of acid to the salt or acid to the base is 1:1. So factors which can affect the buffering capacity are pKa and the ratio of acid to the base. So here in this slide I have given some important acid base pairs. So you can see H2CO3 is a weak acid. It can undergoes dissociation into H plus and HCO3 minus. H2PO4 minus, if you see H plus and HPO4 minus 2, ammonia is also there. So ammonia is also there. Ammonia can be dissociated into H plus and NH3, and lactic acid CH3, CHOH, COOH undergoes dissociation into H plus and CH3, CHOH, COO minus. So likewise, the acids, weak acids, they undergo partial ionization. Strong acids, they undergo complete ionization. So as any buffer is made up of weak acid and its conjugate base, or weak base and its conjugate acid. So this is how buffer combinations can be prepared, and they are helpful in resisting the pH change in a solution. So importance of maintaining pH we should understand. Importance of maintaining pH we should understand. So the importance of maintaining pH is because maintaining native structure of nucleic acids. So proper hydrogen bonding between base pairs is required. You know DNA is a double helical structure. It is a nucleic acid. The DNA stability depends on the surrounding pH. So pH is very important in maintenance of native structure of DNA or nucleic acids. Maintaining the three-dimensional native structure of proteins and biological activity. Maintenance of three-dimensional native structure of proteins and their biological activity is maintained mainly at a particular pH. Maintained at a particular pH. Then maintaining ionic states of nucleic acids. Maintaining the ionic states of nucleic acids. The structure of lipids and mucopolysaccharide structure is also maintained at a particular pH. At a particular pH. And proper dissociation of oxygen from hemoglobin is also depends on the pH of the blood. pH of the blood. Then necessary for the catalytic activity of various enzymes. So pH maintenance is necessary for the catalytic activity of various enzymes. So that is why pH maintenance at a particular point is very important. So what happens if there is a change in pH? Whenever there is a change in pH, the small changes in the pH can produce major disturbances. So any change in the pH can cause a major disturbance. For example, enzymes. Many enzymes, they act at particular pH. So most of the enzymes, they function only within narrow pH range. If the pH changes, enzymes will not function. If enzymes are not functioning, many functions cannot take place properly. Similarly, acid-base balance can also affect electrolytes. So maintenance of acid-base, that is pH, let's say blood pH is 7.4, and if the 7.4 pH is not maintained, it can affect the electrolytes also, which are very important in maintenance of equilibrium in interstitial fluid and extracellular fluid. So the pH maintenance can affect the acid base and electrolyte